Hey you guys, it's CATALEAH. Welcome to my June 2020 Reptile Room tour. Let me just show you around. Let's go. So, you will get to see all of that and more. But before we start, I have a few disclaimers and things I think I should probably address. First of all, you guys know that I am also a breeder, and not everything that I have stays with me forever. I pride myself in being an ethical small breeder. I breed Crested Geckos, Gargoyle Geckos, Leachies. I also breed Lineage Gliders. I also breed a lot of more uncommon geckos, such as cat geckos, and I have knobtails. I also have Garter Snakes. I breed quite a few different species. I am an entrepreneur, and I breed these animals not only because it's my passion, but because I want to provide an ethical source for people to get healthy animals like Crested Geckos and healthy sugar gliders. So this is where I'm at almost all the time, is at home taking care of my animals, working on art projects, being creative. Every now and then I go to reptile shows, but basically what I'm saying is I have the time needed to care for all of these animals, and I try my very best to give them the very best. So that aside, before we get started, there is something else I would like to address, because it's important and you guys should know. So as I'm sure most of you know, I was in a severe car accident at the beginning of January 2019 that, among other injuries, badly broke my wrist. My wrist required 3 surgeries last year, and as you can imagine, this caused a lot of difficulties both mentally and physically. So sadly, I had to relocate some of my animals throughout last year, and I was also unable to go to a lot of the various shows and events. And although throughout my surgeries and whatnot, I was hiring trusted pet sitters to help me take care of my animals, it was just in the best interest of quite a few of them to relocate them and find them new homes. But for now, I hope that gives some insight as to where some of my animals may be located and why you don't see them in the video. For example, my parakeets. The parakeets are an animal that requires a lot of attention, one-on-one time with a person. My geckos don't. They don't need my attention. I mean, they need me to take care of them, but they don't actually need to bond with me because, you know, they're reptiles. Not only that, but not every animal that I have is in this room. So this is just the reptile room tour. I have other critters in other rooms, animals that you may be wondering where they are. Well, they're probably in another room. All of that aside, I just wanted to address that so you guys know, because you care about my animals and hopefully you care about me too, maybe. So I felt like that was important to address. So, hopefully you will see in this video that since my last reptile room tour and since my last all of my pets video, I have improved a lot of things. I've been constantly growing and learning, just as any animal keeper should. I'm always open to constructive criticism. If there's something that you see that you would suggest something else for, or if you have any ideas, if you have experience with those animals, any experts that have cared for these animals that I have, if you have any constructive criticism, I would love to hear it. But if you are one of those people that doesn't believe in keeping pets, then you probably don't want to watch this video. But again, I will say, this is my life. This is what I do. So yeah, I am opening myself up and being vulnerable to criticism and showing you what I have created in this room. There's a lot to see. So I hope you like it. Guess I'll start showing you some animals. Hey, so one more thing. I'm not going to show every single cage in detail. If I did that, we would literally be here all day. And I can talk a lot about my animals. For detailed videos about my animals, tell me what you'd like to learn about in the comments, or what animal you'd like to see a full video on. And I guess the ones that get the most comments, I'll probably start making more videos about my individual animals and their enclosures. I will say, I'm a perfectionist, and pretty much everything in here I still want to add more to and keep working on. This is Vega. She's my Calico Abronia graminia. She's an insanely beautiful animal. This is the girl that I got from the DFW Reptarium when I did a video at their store, and I like toured the entire place with my friend Jack. Super fun. If you guys want to watch that, I will plug that link in the description. But yeah, she's a really good eater. She's really beautiful. She's basically my mini dragon. If you get the name reference, please comment. Yeah, that's Vega. So this tank here, I recently revamped it. This one I'm working on turning full bioactive, so it has a lot of growing in to do, but hopefully it still looks okay. But yeah, this is my cat gecko tank. It's where I have Sagwa and Tom. Can't guarantee I'm gonna find them both though, but I'm gonna try. Don't want to give coronavirus to the animals. Just kidding, you should always put hand sanitizer on in between holding your animals. I found her. So, this is Sagwa. She's my female cat gecko. You guys have probably seen her before. I picked her up at the Sacramento Reptile Expo. When I went there with my friend Miguel, I picked her up. These have slowly but surely become one of my favorite species ever. I absolutely adore these geckos. I'm really happy that I'm able to be breeding them now. I definitely feel like this is a species more gecko lovers should have. Very easy to keep in my experience. Some people have difficulty with them, but I've personally had a great time keeping these. I've never had any issues with them. This is definitely one of the animals that I'll be making a full video on at some point. They curl up and sleep like a cat, and they also have retractable claws. How cool is that? Anyway, see if I can find her boyfriend in there somewhere. Actually, you know what? He is very easy to find because he's always in there. Here he is. Yes, he's named after Tom from Tom and Jerry. Both of them have cat character names. The males are always a lot smaller, and they usually look a little different too. And he also has a regenerated tail. You can see the separation right there, but he had that when I got him. I believe Tom is actually wild caught originally. He was already adapted to captivity when I got him, and I picked him up at Tinley. My friend Sean Colley with Gecko World Austin actually got him for me, which was very, very nice of him. Yep, there's Tom. Look, he's already falling asleep. They sleep so much. It's so cute. Here, I'll put you up, buddy. Okay, this is Fleck, one of my most recent additions. I got him from Altitude Exotics. He's a beautiful Super Dalmatian, and he has Lineage at Altitude Exotics, some very beautiful parents. If you guys know me, then you know that I've wanted some really high-end Super Dalmatians for quite a while, and what a better place to get some from than Altitude Exotics. Keep an eye out for some of Fleck's babies. Okay. So, in these tanks behind me, I have some more really awesome geckos. I think you'll agree. So, this is Cookie Dough. And Cookie Dough is a gecko I've had for over a year now. He's one of my beautiful, beautiful yellow crested geckos. And he has some of the most amazing pattern ever. This is a really special guy because I've never had a yellow gecko that looks this nice. He's got amazing patterns and lineage at Oklahoma Zoological. So yeah, that's Cookie Dough. Alright, come on, little turd. Okay, so these two cages are Leachies. I'll get them out and show you now. You guys are seriously not going to believe how big this gecko has gotten. It's crazy. Also mean, so I'm just gonna not pick him up. This is Muppet. Yes, you heard me right. This is Muppet. The only offspring that Astrid and Sully, my first two Leachies, have ever given me. Hey, how you doing? Oh my god. Yeah, that's Muppet. You're gonna get bit. Don't bite the camera, you little turd. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Move your tail at least, so I can close you back in, okay? Just move your tail. I'm not scared per se, but I'm naturally very jumpy, and I'd rather not get bit by a Leachie right now. Okay. Oh, Astrid, where are you? Ah. Hi, Astrid. How are you? Oh, it's so good to see you. Ah! Like I said, he takes after his mom. She's always been a jerk. I won't disturb her either and make her come out. Yet. Whoa. Oh! She's a good girl, she just has some anger issues. Okay, well, that's this side done. So now we start getting into my breeder slash pet geckos. Okay, so I'm going to start with the top row and work my way down. First one of my favorites. As mothers, we're not supposed to pick favorites of our children, but I will make one exception for Tulip. So yeah, this is Tulip. She is my very first lily white crested gecko. Wow, was I so happy when I first got her. She has some amazing lineage behind her, and she's fired down at the moment, but when she fires up, she's a beautiful, beautiful red tricolor. And of course, she's a lily white, so she has all this extra white pattern on her tail and sides and dorsal, which makes her just absolutely beautiful. Aren't you gorgeous, Tulip? Next door is her boyfriend. Come on, buddy. So this is Baruti. and that name comes from Spyro. So Baruti has some awesome lineage behind him too, and he was actually paired up with Tulip, and they have produced a couple of babies. But Baruti himself is a beautiful tricolor when he's fired up, so they should make some tricolor babies, possibly some with a bit of red. Where are you trying to go? Oh wow, that was pathetic. So in this tank here, there's this beautiful male, originally from Pangea. And this one was available, but it actually sold. So I'm currently just waiting on a day that has really nice weather so I can ship it out to her. He's gorgeous. So those of you OG CATALEAH viewers are gonna be happy to see this guy again. Here's the beautiful boy Zeppelin. Here at CATALEAH'S CRITTERS, Zeppelin is a classic. He doesn't breed anymore. He's really just my pet now. He was one of my first crested geckos. I think he might have been like the 4th or 5th one that I ever got. He's got really nice structure. I don't know where he was originally from, or who bred him, I mean. I've had him for such a long time now, and he's so special. Maybe someday I'll breed him again. He could still make babies if he wanted to, but I've just really been moving into the nice high-end geckos, so I haven't really bred him again. But anyways, random fact before I continue, if you guys like Crested Gecko shirts like this one, you can find the link to get one of these shirts in my bio and in my Teespring store here on my channel on YouTube. There's pink ones and black ones and all different kinds of cute styles. Anyways, time for the next gecko. This next gecko is a super duper special one. This is actually my parthenogenetic Gargoyle Gecko, meaning this gecko does not have a father. It hatched out by a mother that reproduced asexually. So when she laid this egg, she had never been paired with a male, and the egg was fertilized through what's called parthenogenesis. Gargoyles are not nearly as common with parthenogenesis, but as you can see, this one survived through the incubation, but it does have some severe spinal kinks. So this gecko will never breed, it'll never produce offspring itself, but it's still a super cool gecko to have, considering it shouldn't have hatched at all. Parthenogenesis is a crazy thing, and I definitely plan on doing a video about this gecko and explaining more about parthenogenetics. Such an awesome little animal. So here's another gecko that you OG CATALEAH viewers love. This is Scarlet. Scarlet is a gecko that I got from Petco a very long time ago. She's also one of my first crested geckos. I think one of the first 5 or so, and she fires up an extremely bright red color. Yep, chunky Scarlet. Oh, also, she just had some babies hatch. I know a lot of you have been dying to get a hold of some Scarlet babies, so I will update you guys on the CATALEAH'S CRITTERS page on Facebook and Instagram if you're interested in getting one of her babies someday. Next is this beautiful gecko. Her name is Calypso the second. So, no one has brought this up, but it's just been on my mind. So, originally, I named her Basil, and I actually like that name a lot more, but I can be very forgetful about things like names, faces I'm better at, but I just have a hard time remembering things like that sometimes. For some reason, I just completely forgot that I named her Basil around when I first got her, and I'm talking like over 2 years ago. And then after forgetting that I named her that, I started calling her Calypso the second because her mother's name is Calypso, and it just kind of stuck, so I couldn't really go back to calling her Basil. If any of you watched one of my really old Crested Gecko videos and saw her and was like, wait, I thought her name was Calypso, then yeah, that's why. So, this is Calypso. She's a Zingex gecko. She's an incredibly gorgeous tricolor. She's very fired down at the moment, so her colors aren't really showing through that well. She's incredible. She has quite a few offspring here, some of which are available, and I'll show you a couple of those. I almost wonder, if I started calling her Basil again, would you guys be okay with that? Like, would that be too confusing? I don't know. I was actually considering it, because I really like the name Basil. Anyways, okay, next gecko is known for being quite wild and erratic. So I'm not gonna try and get her out, but I'll show you from in here. Oh, I got her. This is Zyla. Zyla has been a very good breeder here at CATALEAH'S CRITTERS for quite a long time now, a couple years, and she's never really liked human interaction. She kind of freaks out every time I mess with her. Yeah, that's Zyla. You're okay, pretty doll. Down here is my new female crested gecko from Altitude Exotics. She's also a little wild. She's a beautiful Dalmatian, and she has some really nice lineage too. And her and Fleck are the ones that I'll be breeding to make some beautiful Dalmatian babies. I haven't actually named her yet, so if you guys have any suggestions, would you mind letting me know Will you leave them in the comments? I've just had a hard time kind of deciding what I would like to pick as a name for her. So yeah, what do you think? Do you have any suggestions? Please let me know. So this one's awesome because it's actually one of my geckos that I produced here. So yeah, this is her. She's actually out of Taurus, who I haven't shown you in this video yet, and Calypso. Sadly, most of my geckos are fired down for this video, so you won't really get to see their true colors, but she's still beautiful nonetheless. She's a gorgeous tricolor. I'm really glad I kept her. So in this tank here is Delbin, and Delbin is my male Saracenorum. Saracenorums are very closely related to Crested Geckos. He's a little spastic, so yeah, let's see how this goes. Hello Delbin. Will you let me hold you? No. Okay. He says no. He's so cute. I love Saracenorums. I'm working on finding a female, but I would really like to get one of the white striped and spotted ones, because those are really beautiful. Let me see if I can get him. Oh, well, there we go. Wasn't too bad. No. Come on. Chill. Eee! He's so jumpy. Okay. I'm sorry. In this tank, we have a gecko called Butterscotch. Butterscotch is originally a Zingex gecko. The odd thing is, though, he has a lot of Dalmatian spots, and neither of his parents have spots like that. But regardless, I think I'll be pairing him with my female tricolor that I just showed you, because I think they would make some really cool babies. Aside from the spots, I know a lot of people don't like spots mixed in with their lines, but I think they could make some pretty babies regardless. So yep, that's Butterscotch. Alright, so now you've seen those, and you've seen these. So we'll go ahead and start on this side now, so you can see the rest of the geckos in these tanks. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start on the top row, I think. First gecko on this shelf is Sansa, my red striped female Gargoyle Gecko. Where are you, Sansa? Okay, here's Sansa. She's also a little on the thin side because she did just start laying for the first time. So I actually got a nice set of pearly white eggs from her recently. And whenever I see geckos lose weight kind of quickly like that, I stop breeding them pretty much immediately. My gecko's health is more important to me than producing offspring, so if I notice them starting to lose a bit of weight, then I usually will stop them from breeding. So she'll probably lay a few more clutches, but she's done breeding for the season until she picks up some more weight. She's absolutely gorgeous though. She has wonderful structure. She's a lovely, lovely gecko. My lights are set on a timer. They automatically turn off at a certain time. Let me fix that. Ta-da! We have power! Oh, I love this girl so much. This is my beautiful female Eurodactylodes villiardi, aka Chameleon Gecko. I absolutely love these. They have the coolest scales ever. She's so short and stubby. Next is hand sanitizer. This is a baby Leachie. But no, I didn't produce this one, sadly. Some of you that have watched my videos in the past will have probably remembered Pomegranate. She's a Leachie that I had for like a period of 6 months or so before I decided I would let her go. This was at a time when I thought that my geckos, Astrid and Sully, would probably keep producing babies, but alas, they didn't. And I sold Pomegranate, and I regretted it. And the person that I sold her to, well, I gave them a really good deal, so they gave me a really, really good deal on this little baby. And yes, this is a baby from Pomegranate. So I'm very, very happy to have this little one. It has very pretty pink bars going on the sides and back. And yeah, baby Leachie. Okay, I was going to get this gecko out, and it's one of my most beautiful geckos that I have. But she's actually in the nest box right now, and she's never laid eggs for me before, but she's definitely gravid, so if she's laying eggs, I definitely don't want to disturb her. But I can probably peep in the egg box and let you see that. So Valeria, my beautiful red striped gargoyle that I got from Carl, is in this tank, and she's actually in here right now. So I'm gonna leave her alone. Fingers crossed that she gives us some fertilized eggs. I've been waiting and waiting for her to lay eggs. I am so excited, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated if she lays eggs. On to the next rows. First in this row is my pretty boy Waylon, and he's my male gargoyle. He's got quite a few offspring now, some of which are available. This is my male Villardi, aka Chameleon Gecko, and his name is Monty. Again, these are just some of the coolest geckos ever. They have that really awesome marbling pattern. Monty and my female will hopefully make some pretty babies here very soon. Ooh, his little legs are fast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Next is a bit of a crazy one. Torment, where are you? He's very often angry, as you can tell. Oh my. Torment! Aside from him being a grade A jerk, he is a beautiful fiery red Pine Island Chihuahua. I got him at the same expo that I got Sagwa, my female cat gecko, from. So I've had him for a couple years now. He's gorgeous. He's literally jumping out of the cage to attack me. You're such a jerk. Dude! You can see why he has the name Torment. In this tank over here, I have Jinx. Jinx here was my very first Gargoyle Gecko. And I got her from the same place that I got my first two Leachies from, which is Carl, South Texas. She's a really pretty, like, pastel orange stripe, and she has the most beautiful blue eyes. She's made some really nice offspring, one of which will be the next gecko that I show you. Okay, so this gecko is an offspring out of Jinx and Waylon, and his name is Bruno. He's actually a really, really nice super blotch. Check out how nice that blotching is. Where do you think you're trying to go, huh? But yeah, Bruno I will definitely be keeping. I think he would actually do really well if I paired him with Valeria, the really pretty red stripe. But yeah, that's Bruno. Gorgeous boy. Very proud that I produced him. Okay, this gecko doesn't have a name because it's actually for sale. So this one is out of Zeppelin and Calypso, and it was a holdback for quite a while, but now that I have a new male and I've been producing others from Calypso, I decided to let this one go. It's a very, very nice little tricolor. I'm not fired up all the way at the moment, but I will be taking this one to some future shows here around Texas. And if you're interested in what shows I'll be vending, you can check that out at CATALEAH'S CRITTERS on Instagram and Facebook. And if you want to buy a gecko, I also ship. It's kind of hard to ship at the moment because it's so hot outside, but you can still buy them and I'll hold them until it's safe to ship. You cannot jump there, you little turd. No, okay. Oh, he did it. Next gecko is another wild one, so I'll be removing you from your tripod. This girl's name is Daisy May, and yes, that is an Animal Crossing reference. She might be in this tube, actually. She's a little spastic. I bought this girl, I think 2 years ago, and she's originally, whoa, okay, I'm sorry. She's originally a Pangea gecko. I didn't buy her from Pangea, but that's who bred her, and she's a really beautiful Dalmatian, and I actually paired her with Fleck, so I'm really excited to start making some beautiful super Dalmatians, and I really like her yellow coloring. I think she's just gorgeous. Next, we have Taurus. And yeah, he does try to breed with my hand sometimes, so I'm a little scared at the moment. But he's being okay right now. He is, and I'm surprised. I've had Taurus for a long time, so if you've watched all of my pets videos or my gecko videos, you've probably seen him. I've also posted him on Instagram quite a few times. P.S. You can follow me at CATALEAH if you'd like to see pictures of my animals on Instagram. That's Taurus. He's a dad as well, and he also has some offspring available. Forgot to show you my rolling cart. On here I have my feeders, have this cute little container where I store calcium, and on top I have my eggs. Still have to label these two. Lots of different gecko eggs incubating. So up top they're kind of hard to see, but I'm going to use my step stool to climb up there and show you those geckos. Where are you? So in here we have Tinley. I guess I'm going to step down for this. In here we have Tinley. Tinley is one of my Leachies. I got her. Okay. Wow, she's so beautiful. So Tinley is a pure new Ana Leachianus, and I got her at, well, my very first Tinley show, so I thought it was appropriate to name her Tinley. Until I can get a pure new Ana male for her, I'll probably put her with Sully because he's a new Ana New Ami cross. Like Astrid and Muppet, she doesn't really like being held, and she makes that known. She's very vocal about the way she feels about things, aren't you? Can I pet you? I'm scared. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. So, next is Sully. He's the other gecko in one of those top tanks, and he's my beautiful big male Leachianus gecko, and he's a Nuana Nuami cross. Sully is a big and beautiful boy. He's the male that was paired with Astrid to create Muppet. He's so sweet. He's like my only sweet Leachie. I don't know why I wasn't blessed with a bunch of sweet Leachies. Everyone else seems to have really nice ones, but mine are kind of buttholes. But it's okay, because Sully makes up for it. Just look at that face. He's so beautiful. Okay, so I finished this entire side. So now my next question is, do I show you some mammals or do I jump across the room to the snakes? I think I'm going to go ahead and show you the sugar gliders and the possum. So a lot of you follow me for my sugar glider content, which I don't blame you, it's pretty good. But I love, love, love sugar gliders. I rescue them, I breed them, and I have them as pets. Sugar gliders are one of my favorite animals ever. And I've been keeping them for over 5 years now. So I've gained some of my own experience keeping them over the years and learning through trial and error, which is not the way I'd recommend you learn outright. But I got my first sugar glider in high school, so I learned a big lesson about the proper way to keep them. And no, you guys never saw him. I never did videos on him or anything when I was in high school. I should probably make a whole video about that, actually. You guys might be interested in hearing my first sugar glider story. These are my sugar gliders, and before this video, I actually posted a video touring their entire cage and showing you from the bottom up what is in the cage and how I decorated it. So I will link that on the screen now if you want to watch it, and I will also put it in the description. So if you want to check out my sugar gliders, you can do that. And I also made a full playlist all about them. So I've got a video about glider care. I'll soon be making one all about diets. So if you have those types of questions, first watch my sugar glider playlist. After that, if I still haven't answered your question in the video, then please send me a message or a comment. So to start out, I will show you the ones in this bottom cage here. So I'll just show you all of them in their pouch first. So there's currently 5 gliders in this pouch. And yes, Mr., my male, is neutered now. He actually bred Maribel and Lavana before he got neutered, so that's why you're going to meet their 2 newest babies. So the cycle just wasn't quite complete after I got him neutered, so they were actually already pregnant. But this boy at the front here is Mr. Mr. is my male, and as you can see, his bald spot on his head is slowly fading away. It's been a couple months and it's almost gone now, so Mr. is a very beautiful and sweet mosaic boy. What are you doing? You can't eat my finger. This is Maribel. Maribel is my Black Beauty sugar glider. Black Beauty is just a variation of the standard gray that makes them a lot darker. And she's peeing on me and it's dripping all over the floor. Oh my. No, Maribel, that's bad. Okay, you can go back, fine. I just woke them up, so they're really not having it right now. Yeah, that's Maribel. She's a beautiful girl. Oh, now you want to be friends, huh? There you go, baby. Sugary sweet stuff is their favorite. This is Mr. Anyways, Mister, your time to shine is over. Oh, here, you want more, Maribel? Here, go on in there. Good girl, good girl. Lavana, oh there's Lavana. Lavana is my leucistic sugar glider, so she's all white with black eyes. And this is Maribel's last baby. This one still doesn't have a home yet, and it's a little girl. So cute. I wish I could keep them all. But my goal is to offer people beautiful, healthy sugar gliders and teach people the proper way to care for them. And there are many proper ways to do that. But it's very important to find a very good breeder whenever you're selecting gliders. And there's one more little baby. This is Lavana's newest baby and her last one. She does have a home already. She's a beautiful little mosaic. And she has those spotted cow ears. Man, she's gorgeous. But yep, that's my first trio of sugar gliders and their babies. This is their very large cage. And again, if you want to see the cage in detail, I have a whole video all about that. Then up here, I have a pair of Lineage sugar gliders I got from the Pet Glider, and that was about a year ago now. They're just now starting to reproduce. I'm really excited to see what babies they may have. I'm also planning on doing a whole sugar glider breeding video. There are not very many detailed breeding videos out there on sugar gliders, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I hope I can do my part by sharing my experiences and get some advice from experts to make that video really good. So let me know if that's something you guys may be interested in seeing. This boy at the front is Rayon, and they have a bunch of eucalyptus leaves in there. And there's Tulip next to him. She's starting to come out now. And yeah, these are my newest pair of gliders. Well, newest is in a year or so. Hey! Tulip is definitely a talker. You talk, don't you? There you go. But being Lineage Gliders from the pet glider, they have a lot of different genetics behind them. So their offspring can be a number of different things. The one that I'm excited the most about is that they have the potential to create Cremino babies, which are, oh my gosh, my dream sugar glider color. And yeah, if you'd like to see more of those guys, I made a whole video going through the pet glider and picking those guys out. So I will link that on the screen now, or you can watch that in the description too. In this cage behind me here is Opal, my woolly possum, and these possums come from South America. I made a whole video all about her, so I will link that on the screen if you want to watch it, and that will also be in the description. She was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. She is just so awesome. She is a lot more work than the sugar gliders, but these are not very commonly kept in captivity. So if you watched my video all about her, then you will know that I do plan on breeding her eventually, and hopefully I can help produce more captive bred animals. So hopefully less of them will be taken from the wild. So eventually my plan is to get a nice healthy male to put with her, and hopefully I can be a source for healthy, well-bred opossums here in the United States. But even if Opal doesn't end up successfully breeding, she is still one of the coolest pets that I've ever had, and I absolutely love working with her and playing with her, feeding her treats, and bonding with her. Plus, she's also a very good educational animal because a lot of people don't even know that these types of possums exist. Most people think of possums in Australia and then opossums here in the United States being like the Virginia possum, but there are many, many more species of opossums and possums, and Opal is a great example of that and why we need to preserve our South American rainforests. Drum roll. Let's get her out. Hi, beautiful. Here she is. She's a little shy. Oh, look, a worm. Here. Okay. She usually likes super worms. Fruit's also her thing. The sad thing about possums is that they don't live very long. In captivity, you know, they can probably live anywhere from 3 to 4 years, but at the same time, they can surprise us. It's just not very common for possums in general to live very long. It's kind of trial and error when you're working with animals like these because so few people actually keep them in captivity. These aren't really threatened or anything at the moment other than by habitat loss and by removing them from their habitat to be resold into the pet trade. Thus, why I plan on breeding Opal eventually if she wants to, and allowing her to produce babies in captivity to help offer people a source for possums so they won't have to get the ones that come from the wild. Such a good girl. I'll bring you your food here soon, okay? She wants to go back in her cage. Opal has a very varied diet. Lots of fruit, meat, protein as well, but her main diet consists of different types of fruit. She also eats a lot of bugs. She really likes super worms. That's like her favorite snack. Hi, baby. You okay? So I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing her again. But if you want to see that whole in-depth video, I will link that on the screen and in the description. Alright, now we can start on this side. So these are the coolest animals that I have. They're called invisible geckos. Should I start with the rack or should I start? I guess I'll start with the snake rack and gecko rack. So this is Enzo. Enzo is currently famous on TikTok because of his smile. He's got the most amazing smile. You want it, sir? Oh, you missed. Oh, you missed again. Oh, you're so dumb. There you go. Enzo is amazing. He is the cutest thing ever, and he is my one and only leopard gecko. I will probably be getting more in the future. I'd really like to invest in a high quality pair of tangerines. He's so cute. His tub's a little dirty at the moment, but I keep him on paper towels for those of you that are curious. Anyways, if you'd like to see his smile more often, follow me on TikTok, CATALEAH YouTube. Next, we have Rusty. A common misconception is that any and all reptiles should not be kept on sand. However, that is just false when it comes to species like this. And since these species aren't as commonly kept, many people don't know about their care requirements. Geckos like Rusty here and the knobtails, which I will show you in a minute, they actually require sand because they make burrows and they utilize the sand's heat-absorbing nature so they can adequately adjust their body temperature. Sand is the best option so they can create the burrows that they do in the wild. And Rusty here is a giant frog eye gecko, also called a Persian wonder gecko. They are super cool. I would love to make a whole video all about him if you guys are interested. Next we have Sassy, and she's in shed. Sassy is my female knobtail gecko, and yeah, she's heavily in shed at the moment, and she also pushed all of her sand out of her burrow. Her and the gecko you'll meet next are hopefully going to be breeding very soon. These are the cutest geckos ever. They have such big eyes, very big eyes. Okay, and here we have Morango, and he's over there. That scared me. He is a bit more well-known than Sassy is because I've had him for quite a bit longer. He's a beautiful red male smooth knobtail gecko. So him and Sassy will be paired up very soon. She is just a few grams shy of being breeding size. And his name stands for strawberry in Portuguese. I like taking words that matches the animal and changing them to a different language so they're a bit less commonly used, I guess. I really like unique names, so. And his tail looks like a strawberry, so that's why his name is Morango. Such a cute guy. And here we have Butch. Butch is also a frog eye gecko, but he's a different species than Rusty. Butch is called a Tibetan frog eye gecko. They're a little more common, but they have really cool scales. Check him out. And he really doesn't like when I touch him, but when I do, he does this cool tail dance thing. See, he wiggles his tail. Sorry, I love you. Oh, I'm sorry. Such a pretty guy he is. I doubt I will ever be able to tame down this gecko. He just really doesn't like people. That's okay. You do you. Next we have another frog eye gecko, and I actually never named her, but I've had her for almost as long as I've had Butch. And she's a T. cincus. I think it's called the common frog eye, but it's a different species from Butch and a different species from Rusty. It's funny because I have 3 different frog eye species, one of each, but this is her. She's in shed. She was one of those that was really skinny when I got her. It took a while to fatten her up. She's done very well, but I'm happy to see her doing well, and she is even more hateful towards people than Butch is. Oh, okay. Check out that tail. Alright. I'll leave you alone, honey. Okay, in here we have Azera, my female tricolor hognose. She has the most voracious appetite and feeding response out of any of my snakes. Well, that's debatable. She always thinks that my hand is food, so I can't even get her out without using a snake hook. She's like, where's my food? Where's my food? Oh, is that it? Is that it? No, honey, the camera's not your food, okay? I guess I could go ahead and feed her. Speaking of feeders, if you're wondering how my snake is so fat and happy and loves her food so much, that's because I use Cold-Blooded Cafe for my feeders. They really do have like the highest quality feeders on the market. They're my favorite to go to. They have really good prices as well. I actually have a coupon code for their store, so if you guys are looking for good high quality feeders for your snake, they are the best. So I'll post that in the description if you guys want to check that out. Here is Ditto. Ditto is her boyfriend. They are both pretty much breeding size, so I will hopefully be putting them together here in the next couple of months. I would like to get Ditto a little bigger first. He's a lot darker than she is, but I think they would make some gorgeous babies. I absolutely love tricolor hognoses, but this is Ditto. He's not nearly as hungry as she is all the time, so I can actually hold him. He likes snacks from Cold-Blooded Cafe too, don't you, Ditto? Okay, so onto these tanks behind me here. More snakes, including one very special one that I'm super excited to show you. So these tanks are kind of a work in progress. They're a little dirty at the moment, but in here is Vega, and she's my normal female checkered garter snake. She could possibly be het axanthic, which you're about to see the male that she will likely be paired with once they're bigger. There she is. And she left me a nice little shed. Hi, Verda. Hi. Okay, here she is. She's so pretty. Garter snakes are by far my favorite snake ever. Some of you may be like, why? But I don't know, I love their personality, I love their colors, and I especially love going out and finding them here in Texas because they are native here. And Verda here is just so beautiful. So the snake in this tank is super special and one of a kind. He's perched on his log there. This is Manta. He is also a checkered garter snake, but he is currently the only one in captivity that looks like him. I believe he's axanthic, Others have said axanthic and others have said melanistic. It's really just kind of up in the air right now. We're really not sure what he actually is. So he's still not quite used to this whole human interaction thing. As you can see, his belly is this beautiful blue color. Oh, he's musking. Come on, buddy. Well, he just decided to musk all over me, so I kind of stink like Garter Snake now. All I want to do is love you and cherish you. So, in the tank next to him, I have 2 albino checkered garter snakes. This is one of them at the front here. This is Virgo, and Virgo is a female. And I'm cohabitating these 2 while they're babies. One's a male and one's a female. And eventually I'm probably going to pair up all of the females that I have with Manta so I can get his genetics going into different lines. And if he is an axanthic, then it's highly possible that I can also create snow checkered garter snakes, which will be probably all white because that's how those genetics usually work together. The albinos I've had for over a year now. I just haven't really posted them. But yeah. I love checkered garter snakes, so be prepared to see lots more videos about them. And soon I will be revamping these and upgrading them to 20 gallons. These tanks are acceptable for the sizes that these snakes are right now, but I really want to give them really optimal space and lots of room. Not only because they deserve it, but also because garter snakes are super fun to watch. They love crawling around their tanks and climbing on things. They will use enrichment. If you put it in their cage, they will likely climb on it. So that's the plan. Hey you guys! I'm filming this a day later, so if you're wondering why I look different and the lighting's different, that would be why. So I'm going to finish showing you the animals that I have over here, and then I'm going to show you my hatchling rack over there. That will be everything. Okay, on to the next one. So, Sprinkles also has a very big appetite and a very strong feeding response. So I usually have to use a snake hook to get her out. And it's really funny because Sprinkles used to be like the sweetest snake ever, but now all she wants to do is eat, so.
Girl.
Here she is. She's a beautiful speckled king snake. Since she clearly doesn't like this, I will be putting her up. Yeah, that went well. But yeah, she's a really cool snake. She's just got a very strong feeding response. In my opinion, speckled king snakes are one of the most beautiful king snakes ever. Here we have Annabelle. She's my beautiful western hognose snake. I've had her for a very long time now. And she's actually, hopefully, gravid. I bred her once before, and she's not het albino, I found out. Her offspring will all be het albino because she's been bred with Daxter, who you guys will meet in just a second. Can't get enough of hognoses. They are definitely a classic. Here we have Daxter. Daxter is the male that Annabelle was paired to, and he's just a really beautiful orange albino hognose. He's 66% het axanthic, so it's possible that he could create snows if paired with the right female. I love hognoses. Yep, this is Daxter, and yes, he's named after Daxter from Jak and Daxter, the video game. Okay, again, I'm kind of jumping around a little, but in this tank up here, I have 2 gold dust day geckos. I've had them since they were little tiny babies. They are extremely good at hiding, so I hope I can find them. Oh, there's one. They're so pretty. They're just so fast. I've heard of some people getting them used to human interaction, but oh man, I don't know. They're just really finicky. There's 2 of them in here. Probably won't be able to find the other one, honestly. I love these. They're so fun. So this particular tank is a little dirty. It needs a paper towel change, so please ignore that. But this one has a very special little gecko in it, and that is a beautiful fish scale gecko. And this gecko I actually got from my good friend Daniel at Afro Herb Keeper. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of him or seen his videos before. And a lot of these are wild caught, so it's really nice to know where it came from, and I have complete assurance that it's captive bred since his geckos produced it, which is really awesome. It likes to hide under the paper towel during the day, and it comes out at night, so this ought to be interesting. It's about time I changed this paper towel anyways, so there it is. Look at this big fatty. Oh my. Seriously, they grow so fast. Look at it. These are like some of my favorite geckos ever. They're so unique. I wish I had a light to shine on it for you. Look at that little face. They have these super cool scales, and those scales can actually come off if they're grabbed by something like a predator. Hopefully it stays. Like, look at it next to my hand. So cool. So this is one of my 2 sockhead milk snakes, and it's currently musking all over me, meaning it's making me stink really bad because it's very mad that I'm holding it. These have been quite a challenge to tame down. They just really don't like being held. I think that's really just a milk snake thing, but then again, I've seen some people that have milk snakes that are like super chill, but yeah, this one hates it. This one's a lot darker than the other one. They're really beautiful snakes. I'm really happy to have them. Okay, here's the other one. Also really crazy. But this one's a lot lighter. It's so beautiful. This one's a little bit bigger too. I'm not really sure why, but they both grown, you know, very well for milk snakes. Milk snakes tend to be pretty slow growers. Yeah, this is the other one. I freaking love these. Look at that. It's so pretty. It looks like a candy cane. But they're very good about eating. They love their cold-blooded cafe. I mean, like, how could you not love this face? Like, look at that. So, these next 2 I have placed in my light tent, so I don't have to touch them. These are my 2 dumpy tree frogs. I've had them also for quite a long time. I haven't really posted much about them, but they are some of the cutest and most fun frogs that I've ever had. This one's called Dumpling. I haven't actually named this one. I just love them so much. I'm gonna feed them for you guys. And yes, just in case, I always crush the worm's head first. Good job, good job. I don't know how these survive in the wild. They're so derpy and dumb. Your turn. You ready for a snack? Here you go, small friend. Good job. Was that yummy? If you guys have name suggestions for this one, it's a male by the way, then please let me know. I know it's a male because it's the only one that calls really loudly all the time, so I wish I could catch it on camera, but they only do it very sporadically, so I never know when they're going to. Anyways, yeah, these are my dumpy tree frogs. Alright, so the last section that I have to show you is my hatchling rack where I keep my baby geckos. But very recently, actually, just a couple of videos back, I showed all of the ones on this rack. And we're getting kind of a long video here. So I think I'll just quickly show you a few of them, and then we will wrap up the video. Here's one. Here's one. This is actually a lily white, and yes, this one is available. I didn't produce this one, but it does have some lineage, and this one I'll have at the future shows that I'm vending, and if you really want it, you can message me on Facebook at CATALEAH'S CRITTERS or on Instagram, and you can buy it. Thankfully, lily whites are a lot cheaper now than they used to be. Here's another really pretty one. This gecko's not for sale. It's actually one of my holdbacks, and this is a Calypso and Baruti baby. It's only like 5 grams, not even, and it has a lot of really nice pattern and cream going up the sides. It's a really pretty tricolor. Of course, it's not fired up though. This one is really nice. This is one of my grow outs from Zingex, and it's a Jarvis and Goblin baby. If you know Zingex, then you know who those geckos are. Really nice. This will definitely become one of my breeders eventually. Here's another little one that's actually available. This is one of my productions. It's a Jinx and Waylon baby, a little Gargoyle Gecko, and this one is available, and I'll be posting it on the Facebook page and Instagram soon, so if you're looking for a cute little Gargoyle Gecko, this one's available. Here's some very tiny little Calypso and Baruti babies. They're almost freshly hatched. I put these on TikTok when they were hatching. This one's really pretty though. These will probably be really nice tricolors when they get older. Here's another one of my really pretty productions that I'm holding back. This one is a little oddball tricolor out of Calypso and Baruti, fired down, but look at that cream on the side. Very excited to see how this one grows up. Okay, I'm really happy about this gecko because it's one of the first stripes that I've hatched, and it just pooped on me. Thanks for that. It's huge out of the egg. It's already like 4 grams almost, but it's actually a Jinx and Waylon production, and it's such a nice stripe. I'm totally gonna keep this one and see how it ends up looking. So this is an exciting one. This is the very first lily white that I've ever produced, and it's a baby out of Tulip and Baruti, but I have more eggs incubating from Tulip, so hopefully I'll get some more lily whites. I'm gonna keep this one and grow it up because of course it's my first one, but hopefully she'll produce more so I can start releasing some. If you want to see the rest of the geckos in here, I will link on the screen the video that I made showing all of my hatchlings and grow outs, and it will also be in the description. Hey! That took a long time to film, and as you can imagine, it took a long time to edit. But I'm really glad I made it for you, and I hope that you're proud of how far I've come with my animals, and I hope you like the enclosures and how things are looking now. Again, if you liked the shirt I was wearing, you should check out my merch store on Teespring. That'll be the first link down in the description if you want to see my merchandise. If you have any questions about any of my animals, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Thank you so much for being understanding about my situation where I had to rehome some of my animals. It was a very hard decision to make, but it was the right one. So I hope you guys can understand that, and if you're ever put into a position where you feel like it would be in the animal's best benefit to find it a new home, don't feel bad. Even though it's really hard, that's one of the bravest things that you can do for your animals. But all of that aside, if you liked my video and you like my animals, then hopefully you'll consider subscribing. I'm making a lot of content on TikTok, so if you have TikTok, you should follow me. It's CATALEAH YouTube on there. If you want to buy a gecko from me, check out my breeder page at CATALEAH'S CRITTERS on Facebook and Instagram. I'm really happy I got to make this, and I'm really happy to be posting again, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, leave a like. It helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching my reptile room tour of 2020, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Go!
Hey you guys, it's CATALEAH. Welcome to my 2020 reptile room tour. Let me show you around.